987.com. Presented by Kia Autosport, Pin Air Federal Credit Union, and MWR.
ESPN Pensacola 945 is locally owned by the ADX Communications Group. That includes News Radio 92.3 and AM 1620, Cat Country 98.7 and 1330 WEBY 99.1 FM. This means that we have the staff, the experience, and the generators to get you through the storm before, during, and after. We care, and we're ready because we're local. ESPN Pensacola 945.
This is Pensacola's hometown all-sports station and home of the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Catch all the Wahoos games home and away all season, plus all the latest Wahoos news from Chad Brilliante on the Sports Drive, 5 till game time weeknights. And hey, if your business would like to partner with us as an advertiser or with a local sports promotion, then give us a call at 850-262-6000 or shoot us an email from the advertise page on ESPNpensacola.com.
Those up the middle. At the 40. Derek Brooks 30. Brooks to the 29. 20. Derek Brooks all the way. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Derek Brooks. The dagger's in. We're going to win the Super Bowl.
Meta Watson is wearing a green jacket, and this time his name is Bubba.
Pitch on the way. Russell drives one in the air. Deep left center. That's back near the wall. It's got a chance. Grand slam. Grand slam, Addison Russell.
The new WNBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
And Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. How about that? Bama scores on a 34-yard touchdown run by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trick Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And these them Louisiana, Pensacola guys, they looking crazy and all that.
Morris, blocked by the tight end Paul. That opens up the door. Breaking the Kendricks tackle. To the pylon. Touchdown.
Really nice effort there by Alfred Morris, extending that ball over the goal line.
Near side ball is that big game. Doug Baldwin's got a first down. And Doug Baldwin, 93 yards, now has back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Reggie Evans, and he's going to get an ovation. Guy from Pensacola, Florida.
And welcome into the Sports Drive right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV. I am Chad Brilliante. Glad to be with you here as always. Going to have some fun with you here on this Thursday evening. The Wahoos back in action. They'll be taking on the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, our favorite mascot. And it looks like, well, the game will get going at 6. So we will be out at 6 o'clock here on ESPN. We'll continue on Blab TV until 7 o'clock. Looking at some of the things going on right now, well, Florida State eliminated, but an incredible run by Mike Martin, and we're going to have more on him. A great tribute by Florida State after 42 years, 40-plus wins in every season, and they gave a nice run. Sat on the edge of your seat, that final pitch right there with an opportunity, but Texas Tech was a good team all season long, and I think sometimes we get caught up in the moment in college baseball, and sometimes we forget that at the end of the day, teams like Texas Tech and teams like when Louisville won yesterday, those teams consistently had better seasons. They were better throughout the 4 or 5 months. So to see a team go out there and beat Florida State like Texas Tech, that was one of the top teams in the nation throughout the year, not a shocker. But great run overall, and we're proud of the Seminoles here in Pensacola. Joining me, my co-host and partner in crime, as always, Jordan Glass and Justin McGinnis, having some fun here today. Jordan, what's happening, my friend?
Not much, man. It is a little bit of a heartbreaker for Florida State. Mike Martin, career coming to an end that way, but like you said, great run for him in the last year.
Justin, you look at Florida State; they've done so much in years where they were a top 5 team or number 1 in the nation. Actually, during that 42 years, taking a look back, they were actually number 1 in the nation. I believe it was 29 different times. So you had a team that, and not finishing the season 29, I mean, that's historic, which most of the records are. But at one point, 29 times they had an opportunity to be number 1 in the polls. And I'm telling you, he's the kind of guy that we were all rooting for, but it just didn't happen yesterday. And a couple more games tonight in the College World Series.
Yeah, definitely everyone was rooting for him. Whether or not you were a Florida fan or a Florida State fan or whoever you're a fan of, just because of what you saw what he did for the sport, you wanted him to go out on top. I think I can say that coming from everybody.
So we'll keep an eye on all the games going on right now as we take a look.
Not to interrupt, we got breaking news here. We've got SportsCenter going because the NBA draft's tonight. Apparently, the Atlanta Hawks have now acquired the number 4 pick from the Pelicans. The Pelicans will get the number 8, 17, and 35 picks as part of that deal. So New Orleans giving up the number 4 pick they got from the Lakers for Anthony Davis to get 8, 17, and 35. So the Pelicans making some moves, but also the Hawks moving up there into the top 4 as well.
I think that's a good play because they already have number 1.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a good play.
They've got Zion.
You've already got Zion, and outside of that, you got John Morant's going to go off the board early, but then it starts to drop off. Like the number 4 pick and the number 17 pick, there's going to be some. It's going to be a difference, but some of the guys dropping in some of these mock drafts, I think that was a good play. If you can get that many picks, that was a smart play for the future, because what it is really at this point is the NBA theory. It's all like a chess game, and sadly, for people that want things now, which is society, everybody wants something now, it's a chess game to get as many pieces so you can trade in a bunch of youth to get one superstar. I mean, that's what's happening. Think about it. Every team is trading away 3 or 4 pieces in draft picks to get one mega player. And if you don't have all those pieces, then you're not going to be able to make that trade. So right now, Pelicans had a couple good players and a bunch of hobos. Now they can go ahead and get a bunch of draft picks, and maybe 2 or 3 of them work out, and then in a couple years, ship them out. But the market size in New Orleans, Saints are always going to, as long as Drew Brees is there and having an opportunity. But it's hard for a lot of NBA players to go to New Orleans over the teams like L.A., New York, the market size. They're going to be a star and go by every single place in Times Square and by the Staples Center and see their billboards and billions of dollars that they can do in endorsements down the road.
Yeah, I was actually at Smoothie King Center yesterday, actually, for a concert.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, I was actually there, and I agree with you on the. Not a lot of teams. You don't want to go to New Orleans or like L.A. and like New York. Because New Orleans, I honestly think it's kind of diminishing as years go on.
And I will say this, I know we don't really do hot takes on the show, but I'll say this as a hot take. Pelican fans enjoy Zion while you have him, because the minute he's available to go to be a free agent and go somewhere like a New York, like an LA, or like a Golden State, he's going to leave and he's going to go to one of those places.
Well, and you look right now at who they have number 4 projected. It is Jared Culver. That might be mine. Is it you?
I think it was actually me.
Okay, all right. Well, I was about to just yell at myself, but turn your, you know what? No, no. Looking at number 4 pick, they have Jared Culver from Texas Tech on a lot of mock drafts, and then at number 17 or 18, you're looking at Rui Hachimura, who from Gonzaga is 6'8", 230. He's got a lot of talent. So to me, that's not much of a. I mean, Culver was a really good player at Texas Tech, but Hachimura was a really good player. So you're not too far off from there. Some of the guys in that mix, Bull. You got guys like Keldon Johnson and Tyler Hero over there from Kentucky. So there's a lot of good players on that board. And if I'm a team, I'm looking at Hero real quick in the NBA strategy today. That guy, he catches, shoots, scores in Kentucky, and making that trip. He's the kind of guy today. He's not a Kyle Korver. He's not just a shooter. He's pretty lengthy, and he was only a freshman, but a great player overall. The NBA draft will be tonight, and we'll keep an eye. One thing we know pretty much, Zion Williamson, 6'7", 6'8", about 290. We haven't seen too many people his size and strength, and it's going to be fascinating because he's a new breed. If he ever develops a lights-out jump shot, watch out. It's going to be pretty nasty for a lot of teams. Well, some of the other stories, including one, the Tampa Bay Rays, talking about the potential of combining, this is not a joke, folks, of combining with the Montreal Expos to have a home team. Yeah. I mean, if it's going to, here's the deal I'm going to go with. If you're going to pick a team, the Tampa Bay Rays would be that team just because they only have half attendance. You know, it's sort of been, if you ever go to that area, most of the people are transplant New York fans because you've grown up with them right down the road for spring training baseball. Fort Myers and Bradenton, you have teams like the Boston Red Sox. So if you go up and down the where so much of the Grapefruit League is played, a lot of those people grew up with other teams. Like in Lakeland, you've got the Tigers. Grew up with your own teams. Houston had Kissimmee.
Yeah.
So they didn't grow up Rays fans. Then all of a sudden you got a bunch of old geriatrics at the end of their prime, like Wade Boggs and Jose Canseco, and when they were the Devil Rays. And you had a couple years where you got to wear those crazy uniforms and watch them play. But overall, they've started to get good late. But they're doing it still not with the star power. They actually got better when they traded away some of the star power, like Chris Archer and Evan Longoria, and they went after some of these youthful guys that have played well. I don't think, though, that this makes any sense for most teams. To me, it's still ridiculous. But if you're going to pick a team, like I said, to me, out of all franchises, it would probably be the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays definitely make the most sense to do this because, A, like you said, they're only filling up half their stadium, so why not look to only play half the season in that stadium? So I just think this is so weird. And honestly, Justin, myself, and Davis Allen, and we're talking about that because Justin's actually our producer on Sports Call every Saturday right here on ESPN Pensacola. So we were having a group chat about that earlier, and the thing that I kind of made the comment, this could be scare tactics by the Rays as one last opportunity to try to scare Tampa Bay into saying, look, we've got places that are interested in us playing there half a year. We definitely probably have places that are interested in us playing there the entire year. So maybe build us a stadium or else. And Tampa probably still not going to build them a stadium, so we'll have to see if this actually happens. But it's just so weird.
I was thinking in my head, too, the combination of some of these names could be fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The Tampontreals. I mean, you just combine the names or go in with the Dome Boys. I think you could go with that one. That one's a Sacre Bleu. I'm just saying the French. I like that one. I like Sacre Bleu on that one. Sacre Bleu. Or how about the Tampa Bay A's? There we go. Tampa Bay A's. But
then Oakland's going to go, wait.
That's us.
No. The Monterrays. That could sort of work.
That one's not bad.
X-Rays. They were formerly, I'm just saying, Expos plus Rays. These names are perfect. I mean, they're really, I don't think they're going to go with Tampontreal, but that one also, X-Rays combines a name. A lot of them. I would go with Sacre Bleu, but I don't know if they want to go down this path. I'm just saying it sets itself up for a lot of fun names.
Yeah.
And which is sort of the premise of this show. When that happened, I was like, how many can I write down before 5 o'clock today? So there you go right there. If you had to pick one of those, which one would it be? Dome Boys? Sacre Bleu?
I like the Sacre Bleu.
Yeah. You have to make sure like the Rays is capitalized on it.
You can have like the mascot can be an angry French chef.
Border bouncers?
I don't know. I like the X-rays. the X-rays, it sounds pretty cool, honestly.
I mean, I think it might offend a few Canadians in a kind way if you went with the Tampa Bay A's, but overall, I think that's where we're going with this one. We'll see. If you have a good name, you can give us a call at 972-1945. What do you think of this? Because no team has ever gone down this path. You have seen teams move or co-cities. You've seen teams have co-cities, but you've never actually had a situation where you've gone through the opportunity to the point where you have one team and another team trying to bounce back and forth.
Yeah,
that's never happened.
I just want to see Major League Baseball's reaction when they get this request. Just in there and they're looking at it and they're going, They want to do what? Because no other team has ever thought to do this, let alone wanted to do it. I honestly, I have no idea where the Rays are coming from with this idea. Other than maybe trying to scare, like I said, outside of scaring Tampa Bay into building a new stadium, that's the only thing I can think of.
Has there ever been, like, in any other sport, like a major team that did this, like a major league team that ever did this? Because I can't recall.
I can't. No, I don't think so.
I don't think definitely not. I'm not seeing many teams have left and a team boos them, and then once in a while comes back, like the LA Rams. But nobody has ever tried this, especially almost 3,000 miles away. Pretty much, about, I don't know, 2,000 less, but still across the border.
It would be one thing if they wanted to play half the season as the Tampa Bay Rays and then the other half as the Fort Myers Rays. That's
the co-continents. Is that what they're going to call or something like that?
I don't know.
and think about all the national anthems you have to sing.
Oh my god!
So do you have to do you have to do the national anthem and then the Canadian national anthem and then back to the national anthem?
Is this in games when you're in Tampa, you've got to sing the AARP theme song? So
that's going back and forth. Oh well, please don't do this for the love. It'll give us a couple good shows, but overall, probably not a good idea. When we come back, we're going to talk a little more on the NBA draft. We'll get to more on college baseball and also some of the news right now in the NFL. It's all coming back right here on the Sports Drive.
This week, we're kicking off the weekend a little early. It's time to let freedom rumble with the team at Harley-Davidson of Pensacola. Join the excitement Thursday night for a patriotic-themed bike night with live music from the Crosstown Band. The Hog Club firing up the grill with free burgers and dogs. The Harley's Angels serving up free drinks and sparklers for your kids. Thursday night at Harley-Davidson of Pensacola. It's the Let Freedom Rumble Bike Night. Harley-Davidson of Pensacola. Let's ride.
The year was 1919. Barbasol shaving cream was invented by a dreamer named Frank Shields. The world's first modern shave cream, Barbasol changed the face of shaving forever. A few billion shaves later, Frank's dream lives on. Behind every face is a dream. Barbasol proudly salutes every fearless, self-assured, wide-eyed dreamer all across America. Celebrating 100 years. Barbasol.
New Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline is engineered with 4 levels of defense against gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. It's sort of like having ninjas protect your engine. That helps keep your engine running like new. New Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. It's fuel for thought in engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline.
ESPN Pensacola has you covered from the national and local levels. From Golick and Wingo to the Sports Drive, the Paul Feinbaum Show to talk football with Coach K, we have it all. It's the latest and best in sports talk radio, making us Pensacola's hometown sports network. ESPN Pensacola 94.5, also on HD Radio at HD2 98.7 WYCT, and streaming online at our website at ESPNpensacola.com.
Owner-operator truck drivers, have you been dreaming of getting out of your old rig and into the driver's seat of a brand new semi-truck? SFI Trucks and Financing is leasing semi-trucks for low to no money down and will work with almost any credit situation. Freightliners, Peterbilts, Kenworths, Internationals, and Volvos, all equipped with new technology and driver comfort features. Plus, our 24/7 maintenance support team will keep your truck running so your business can keep moving forward too. Learn more at sfitrucks.com. That's sfitrucks.com.
Sizzling summer savings are here at Bob Tyler Toyota with special low Bob Tyler prices on new 2019 Highlander LE, just $249 a month. New 2019 Tacoma Double Cab SR5, just $229 a month. Or the new 2019 Tundra Double Cab SR5 4.6-liter V8, just $289 a month. Check out over 10 acres of pre-owned inventory, including Toyota certified vehicles. Get to Bob Tyler Toyota while the savings are hot. The approved credit, 12,000-mile, 36-month leases, $49.99 cash or trade equity down, excludes tax tag, registration, title, 0 security deposit. All prices include $899.50 dealer fee. Dealer for details. Expires 8/31/18.
And welcome back. Sports Drive with you right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV. Chad Brillante with you here. Glad to be with you here as always, alongside Jordan Glass, Justin McGinnis. You can be part of the show, 972-1945. Tampa Bay Rays talking about combining with Montreal to have a team. What do you think? Would this work in baseball? 972-1945 with the Blue Wahoos back in action today. College World Series as well. We'll keep you posted as a couple more games today. And, you know, I'm looking at it. It's pretty ridiculous for a lot of people when you talk about this is absolutely ridiculous to think that a team could combine, because fandom, you would think that you would have the ownership, and now you have to split it. I mean, think about it like there's the hot girl in high school, and two guys are trying to fight for football quarterback to run back. Like, man, it's going to be mine. Let's just split dating. Yeah, sometimes we call that things, and hopefully kids in high school aren't going down that path of swinging. But I'm saying, overall, the difference is, most of the time, you win the battle.
He just graduated high school, so
hopefully. But Montreal, they're French and Canadian, and they can do some things.
Oui.
But going down this path is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. It's as Stephen A. Smith would say, it's ass a 9, ass a 10, ass 11, ass a 12. Yeah.
But it has got past the point of, like, the Zach Smith headline of receiving paper or documents from the U.S. Postal Service that Urban Meyer was going to USC.
Right.
Like, that made the Ocho. Nobody actually was trying to pick that up. This is on the headlines.
No,
like,
Sports Center was doing a story about it last time.
I mean, it's all over. Yeah. Like, this has gone down the path where they are legitimately talking about this happening. I guess they have that huge place out there that is not being used at all in the stadium, and they want to do something with it out in Montreal, but that is not the right choice. Have some big, Little League games or another one of the venues.
College
World Series.
Yeah.
That's right. Looking at the College World Series, because they're done. Elimination game tonight. Mississippi State will take on Louisville, and that one will be at 7 o'clock. So Mike Martin's last game, he said the College World Series is where you'd want to end it. Didn't go out the way that they would have liked to, but still made a good run. Got that first victory and finished right there as the 6th team eliminated. So now we are down to 5. Mississippi State and Louisville. By the end of the night, we will be down to 4. And right now, I'm sticking with Vanderbilt. Nothing's changed since the beginning. I think they've got the pitching staff to get it done. Michigan has been waiting. Their run was great. But when you have that momentum and you're an unranked team, you want to keep the flow going. And I'm not going to say that having a couple days rest when you go through a regional, super regional, and then into a NCAA World Series is a bad thing. You get to rest the pitchers, have more time. But sometimes when you're building on that momentum, you just want to continue to ride it. And I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do that.
No, I think one of the saving graces for them is Rocker's not going to be available to pitch for Vandy in that game when they have to play Michigan, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big help for Michigan. Not to say, that's not really saying a lot, because the guys that are also on the pitching staff with Rocker are great quality pitchers. So, but to not face him, that is definitely what you want if you're Michigan in that situation. So I agree with you. I picked Vandy. I'm going to stick with Vandy.
Looking today, we had the Women's World Cup. United States continues to dominate right there as they have won Group F and will play Spain. And we'll play Spain in the knockout phase right there, having an opportunity as they won 2-0, taking care of Sweden. And it was a nice win. Sweden's not bad. This isn't a team that, out of all the teams, I'm not going to act like I'm one of the expert panelists here, as a couple of the females on there are. But the United States is the best team right up there. Japan's going to be competitive. You have a couple teams. Brazil's good, but Sweden was a top 5, top 6 team, and good to see the United States showing up and getting that big victory. They were up 1-0 at halftime, added the lead right there, and finished it off where they could rest easy. Some of the other scores that obviously Jordan paying a big attention to this one. Cameroon beat New Zealand.
Of course, yeah.
2-1 in the battle.
Called it.
Justin, as Chile beat Thailand right there. Yep. So good for Chile. Yep. And Netherlands, the Dutch smoked the Canadians 2-1.
Here
right
we go.
There. It was a little hazy at times, but took care of it. So those were your scores today in the FIFA Women's World Cup. Bryce Harper, is now batting. He's gone from cleanup to now batting leadoff for the slumping Phillies right there. baseball, if you're trying to judge, look, at one point the Braves couldn't get anything rolling. At one time we thought Seattle and Pittsburgh were having heroic seasons. Now they're going to be trading people on the deadline. They already have Encarnacion. Thanks for giving the Yankees more talent. But you got teams out there all over that have slumps and then get good. Look, the Red Sox are starting to play good baseball. They're starting to win some games. I'm not worried. As long as you make the postseason and you've got a legit roster, you've got a shot. But teams like Houston and L.A., even the Dodgers, will go through their bad time. And that roster's loaded with left-handed hitters. That's really not fair. Unless you have a roster of left-handed pitching, which they hit well, actually, it's going to be a tough time to beat. They have so much power in that lineup. It's ridiculous. I mean, they've lost to the World Series back-to-back years, but I truly believe that it's good. You're not going to get a lot on them. They're the first team to 50 wins. But right now wouldn't be a bad time to put some money lay now on the LA Dodgers to win the World Series. And like I said, they're right there with Houston, the New York Yankees, a couple of the big hitters to win, but this team has it all. And Kershaw has a little bit of help with guys like Walker Buehler, a Vanderbilt grad, a couple guys around there that are just better and better every single year. I think that this is their season that they finally get it done.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. And I would honestly, you mentioned the Red Sox starting to play better baseball. If I'm going to put a money on a team to kind of make a surge for that first place spot and make a deep run into the postseason, I would look at a team like Boston as well, especially with, the Yankees are playing great baseball like we thought, and that was always going to be a Boston-New York division. But, Montreal's really surprised us this year as well with the way they played.
That's right. Montreal Rays are really, they're starting to pick things up, and, watch out for them right there. They got the combination of a lot of fan base rooting for them all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people
in Paris, France now are huge fans. I'm telling you, though, overall, it's. I hope that doesn't happen. Looking at some of the things that are going on as well. Look, the whole thing, we talked a little bit about it yesterday, but this whole story about Big Papi, if you're really sitting there and you're truly believing every word, today was one of the suspects in the shooting of David Ortiz was charged with drug and firearm possession in New Jersey. Like, this is, if we haven't already started to look this way, the glove don't fit approach, we're continuing to go down more and more of this path every single day. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. This was supposed to be a hitman. Think about it this way. Supposed to be good at his job, whether you agree with the job or not. I hope you don't agree with it. I think that's a great profession. I'm sure his guidance counselor in the Dominican Republic told him that he wants to shoot people in the back.
I mean,
stab people in the back at work is different. That's a figure of speech. But if you're actually going out there and capping people, I don't think somebody told you to do that. Now you might make good money. Hey, look, people. There's movies made about that people make a lot of money. But overall. Somehow Hollywood makes those guys into good guys sometimes. Vigilantes.
John Wick.
Wasn't there a certain dollar amount, like $3,000 or something like that he was paid?
He clearly really walks up
making
to
good money,
Big Papi. I mean, if you watch what happened, there is no his eyes isn't like he slips on a banana peel in Donkey Kong and shoots the wrong guy. This isn't like guys in the bar and all of a sudden it deflects off the table. Like, he clearly is looking right at Big Papi to get this done. And all the stories
and Big
add
Papi's
up for
what,
it too.
6'4",
6'4", 260, 270. Yeah, you're not gonna...
Okay, so he's got about 10, 15 pounds on me and maybe about 3 or 4 inches. So, he's not a small guy. So it's... If you accidentally hit a guy that big, there's no accident about it because there's no accidentally hitting somebody that size.
This story is the Dominican Republic trying to let everybody know that their hero, which is Big Papi, can stay now their hero.
Right.
Instead of a story, if you know the background of what is the story. And based on that, I don't have 100% proof. I'm not going to skip Bayless this one, so I'm just going to sort of just go with the flow, but I'm just telling you what they're telling you here. Do not buy into that the guy was going after the guy sitting next to Big Papi and weren't trying to shoot the guy that they directly tried to aim and target. And if you know the story and the background, you can talk to me off the air. If you'd like to actually weigh in on this, you can go ahead to our Facebook page. You can also send me a direct at Sports Drive Chad, and I will get right back to you with what I know for this story. But look, one thing to make enemies with a bunch of guys that could or could not have been going after him. Another thing with the Dominican Republic government. So I'm just going to end it at that and say, you know what? Congratulations. They have figured it out, and they've solved it. Sherlock Holmes is on the case. Looking at some of the other things here as we get set to go now, we're 63 days away from the start of football season, and let's continue. A little Q&A here. The Mad Hatter, Les Miles, coached at which school before he coached at LSU?
Oklahoma State.
That is correct. Yeah. There you go. Looking at the next one here. In 1908, did a player die on the college football field?
Yes.
I would probably say 1908.
That's very suspicious.
Yeah.
Over under 15.
His age or how many people?
People.
No, people. 1908. Yeah, I would probably say. I would say.
Yeah. You guys
say over.
Not a big fan of this season.
I'm saying under.
Okay, good for you. It is over. It's 18. It's 18 people died in 1908. Actually, Teddy Roosevelt, the man who was shot, if you don't know, Teddy Roosevelt was shot in Milwaukee. Now, the bullets, this wasn't like Tommy gun movies or like the bullets today where, like you see in the, you're playing one of the games with your friends out there, like, all of a sudden you can blow up the guy or throw grenade launchers. This was like a bullet that the guy's like, come on, man. But the guy was probably making the gun in like the bottom, like what they did in The Walking Dead, making bullets. Yeah. So all of a sudden, you had a guy though in Teddy Roosevelt that was doing his speech in Milwaukee, and he got shot, and he finished.
Yeah.
The like 30-minute speech, and then he said, "Boys, I've been shot. Can you take me to the hospital?"
He even got Giannis's last name right in the speech.
That's right. The reason he carried a big stick, and there's bears, cuddly bears, that we're allowed. Like, you're not allowed to sleep with anybody outside of family in this country, but you're allowed to sleep with a teddy bear. So at this point, you got to look at that as say, this guy obviously made an impact because he's in every children's home and in your room. It's a creepy way to look at it, but that's exactly what's happening. This guy was allowed to be in your children's home in their bed as a teddy bear. And good for him because Teddy Roosevelt was a big man, but he even stepped in and said, look, 18 deaths, this is getting out of control. We got to do something about this. And I guess they've changed. They've changed. Will Smith, when he's talking about CTE, imagine making this movie about tell the truth. They're all dying on the field. Like, that's a little bit different in 1908. So there you go. There's a fact. So next time you say, is college football dangerous, say, well, back in my day in 1908. Be like, son, you weren't there. 18 players there. Looking at the most common used mascot, is it the Buckeye?
Oh, I know this one.
Well, then don't. Okay. What is the second most common mascot? No, the Buckeye. Is it the Tiger? Is it a bulldog or is it a beaver?
We talked about this yesterday. There's
or a Crimson Tide, the most common mascot.
Man, I tell you what, man, them Crimson Tide, man, they're everywhere. But I'm gonna say it's bulldog.
See, the first one was Brutus, the Buckeye. I think so I say it's Buckeye. Yeah.
You clearly didn't. What is the most common mascot?
Wait. Like for Lee Corso, or like what are we talking about?
No, just in general.
Just in general.
Oh, wait.
I was saying you don't know this one clearly because there's only one Buckeye. I was going to say that's
watching those game shows and they say two
words
I
was
of the question.
Giving you, yeah, just pretty much gave you one of them.
Okay.
Like, what is your favorite animal? Is it a tiger? Is it a cat? Is it a giraffe? Or is it eggplant?
52,
and you're like,
52.
Man, I really like eggplant. Like,
Tiger.
Okay.
Tiger.
No, it's bulldog. Okay. Bulldog. There, tiger is second. So congratulations. As Ricky Bobby's dad would say, if you're not first, you're last. But there you go. 3, actually, Tigers in the SEC, but Bulldogs do win the wall. Congratulations to Yale for taking it down overall there. Looking at some of the other things here, technically, it was one of these kind of things where it's hard to decipher because one poll had them, but officially in the 2 polls that count, there's been only one team since 2000 that has never been ranked. This is fascinating. There's only one team out of the 130 teams that has never at one point been in the top 25 for a week. And it's probably not who you think. It's in a Power 5 conference.
Okay, I was going to say Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All of these teams at one point have found a way to sneak in.
Wait.
And that's shocking, too.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask for the conference.
And I really need to go back and look at I double-checked this question because I don't feel like Eastern Michigan and some of these teams have ever been ranked. So maybe it was when they were in a Power 5 or maybe Power 5 conference teams. It could have been. But the question clearly said college football teams that have not been ranked, and this is the only one.
Are they a Power 5 team now?
Yeah.
It might have been of all time then because some of these teams back in the day, everybody, like Yale and Princeton went every other year.
All right, I want to go with Boston College or Wake Forest.
In that vicinity of bookworms.
Princeton.
Vanderbilt.
And
that's
what I was thinking.
But here's the thing is, and you think like the last couple years, there's been teams very close.
Yeah.
But apparently they had never cracked the top 25 in the AP. And I'm looking at it and saying, man, I feel like there was a couple years back where they were very close. But never have they cracked the top. And other teams have snuck in with a couple of those teams over the years dating back. I was very surprised to see that question.
That is very interesting. Yeah, even in the James Franklin era,
it was on the internet too. Had to be true.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're gonna talk. I mean, obviously true, but I do believe that is I didn't just create this out of the world. Like that was I double checked the facts, and it's still confusing. Like I said, that's still one of those mind-boggling kind of things.
Hey, it's as real as the Montreal Rays.
Spider to banana. We're coming back for more. We're going to talk with Pat Dodd today, legendary Auburn coach. We're going to let him know. He dropped Frank Thomas is the only SEC player ever to be elected in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. And we were all Googling, like, that can't be true. That cannot be true that Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt, is the only SEC player ever to make the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. But he was actually right.
Yeah.
So sometimes just go to the die. We'll find out more with Pat coming up here on the show. It's the Sports Drive.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Pros do it right to get more bang for your buck because putting more toward your bottom line is good for business. Lowe's is here to help with everyday savings, whether finishing up a property or updating one. Stop in now and get a GE Smart Air Conditioner at our everyday low price of just $349. Its connected functionality enables full control from the convenience of a smart device. Plus, save $20 on select Harbor Breeze ceiling fans, now just $49.98. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offer valid through 6/23 U.S. only.
I'm Troy Rafferty, and many of you know about my love for sports and my longtime support for our local high school athletes. One thing these fine young people have taught me over the years is this: whether it's on the ball field, in the classroom, or in a court of law, always work your hardest and achieve the best results possible. And that is the commitment we make to our clients and our community.
Levin Papantonio in Pensacola since 1955.
Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. Soon you'll have a separate fridge in the basement, where extra groceries are exiled forever. Remember that frozen lasagna? Of course you don't. It's been down there since 2008. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance. Piece of cake. Behind the lasagna, it's very old. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
He was a star quarterback at Pensacola High, played alongside Gator great Steve Spurrier, and rose up the ranks to become head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Now, he's talking football on ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Coach K brings football to life year-round. The teams, the players, and the front office. Talk football with Coach K every day at noon on your radio. And Coach K live on Facebook and YouTube at ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
Introducing. Nah, not big enough. It's the brand new. Nah, still not big enough. Introducing the brand new French-inspired topped with fresh fruit crepes lineup, only at Denny's. Yeah, that's better. There's the new banana chocolate hazelnut crepes, the banana berry caramel crepes, and the strawberry vanilla crepes, made with fresh strawberries, strawberry sauce, and vanilla cream. Fresh fruit, French, and delicious. Come try all three. See you at Denny's. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only.
And welcome back to the Sports Drive right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV. Chad Brillante with you here. Jordan Glass, Justin McGinnis sitting in as well. And now joining us, the legendary Auburn coach who's got to be proud of his Auburn Tigers and what a historic year in so many sports across the board. And another great run into the College World Series came to an end this week, but still an amazing run. Coach Pat Dye, former head coach of the football team and athletic director at Auburn, joins us here. Coach, appreciate your time as always.
Well, thank you, and we are proud of our baseball team. It's they didn't win, but they got there, and a lot of teams didn't get there. In fact, it wasn't but 8, and they made some miraculous wins going in and through the regionals to get to the final 8, and it's just and it's a young team.
It was, and they're going to be a team that, I think they're only getting better. Same thing with basketball, what Bruce Pearl did, and building consistency. But looking right now at some of the things going on in the football team, Joey Gatewood, a big freshman, and you got Bo Nix and a lot of the guys. Is there anything at this point where you feel going into the summer that one guy is ahead of the other? Or is this going to be truly a battle till the end?
And both got upside. And it's just depends on what Coach Malzahn thinks is the most important upside to make us the best team. I think clearly that Bo Nix is a more refined passer, but Joey Gatewood is a good passer and a great runner. And he brings a lot. He's 6'4", 235, and can run, and he can make a miss and just. And I'd say that there's not a lot to choose between the two personalities. The kids love both of them, and the still the same way. I don't know how quick it will materialize, but at some point in time that's coming, we're going to have an outstanding quarterback at Auburn. I don't know which one it'll be, and it may be both of them. I wish both of them could play, but I thought that would be unusual for that to happen like that.
Coach, looking right now at Kenny Dillingham was brought in. He's going to be the new offensive coordinator. Chip Lindsey, I got to speak to him when he was down here a couple weeks ago down at McGuire's for the Troy Trojans caravan, he being the new head coach at Troy. But you look at Gus Malzahn, he's now going to get to call plays. Is this something in today's college football? Back in the day, I've talked with you and Coach Stallings and so many guys in the 80s and 90s. They did their own plays. Today with coordinators and then running back coaches, tight ends coaches, there's so many different coaches, offensive analysts they call them. Do you think this can work where the head coach in college football today can be the coordinator as well, or the play caller?
Well, I'm not. I can say that one is better than the other. What I can say is this: when you play for a head coach, offensive mind and offensive coordinator, it's just make it natural for him to want to control both those offense. As far as preparation and that sort of thing. And an offensive coordinator, a lot of control of, he never had been in charge of the offense himself. And that might have worked for us, or for him. When our overall mindset as an offensive football team because of it.
Well, looking at some of the other things we talked about in college football getting set to go for the season, do you think when you look at the teams in the SEC today, do you feel that they are, and this is probably a tough question because they've always been powerful, but do you feel there's more of a balance today with the major conferences or when you coached?
I would say that that's because of television. I think there's good coaches tonight, like, when I was coaching. We had some great coaches. But, in our conference, and you can't take that. But the guy in Arkansas, he wasn't, but he was successful in the way he's been, and you got to think they're going to be coming. But LSU is they've been in kind of limbo with Argeron, but they've got talent and they're a good football team, and they've got the quarterback, and they've always had great talent. And Jimbo Fisher, Toby Davies, the winner, Texas A&M. I think the guy in Missouri is doing a great job. I think the guy in Kentucky is doing a great job. I think the guy at Vanderbilt's doing a great job. I would say that in our conference, right now today, that South Carolina's got the toughest coaching job in the conference. Sitting in a relatively small state from the standpoint of recruiting, and sitting there with Clemson, and then they play Georgia every year, and they play them. They play a team that's won the national championship on several occasions, and when they have won the national championship, they've been right there winning. So, for all the Georgia, where they are. In the West, you got Alabama. I think we're going to have a good football team in Alabama. And I'd say there's more parity today. Mississippi State and Mississippi. I'm not sure where they are, but they've got the ability they've got everything it takes on campus, and the fan base, and the money, and the facilities to have teams that compete for championship.
Well, Coach, we always appreciate your time. We're looking forward to doing this as the season continues here. How's everything right now?
Well, then we get close to get the football season, and when we get on into the season, the tension will pick up.
Yes, it's you're already starting to feel it.
Yeah, and you find out who's right and who's wrong.
It's
we all experts right now.
Hey, it's going to be a fun year in the SEC with teams like Texas A&M getting better in Florida. It should be a lot of fun. There's a lot of competitors. Actually, to preseason, it looks like there are going to be 6 teams in the top 15 out of the SEC. So there's going to be a lot of good teams trying to.
And Auburn's not one of them. I bet you.
Well, Auburn, according to some of the pundits, is that sixth team at 15. But that's probably being nice on that poll to me. I mean, it's a preseason poll, but to me, they got to get a quarterback out on the field that people watch and go, okay, I can believe. It's a quarterback-driven league today where, Jake Fromm so if you got a quarterback you can trust. Yep.
So, well, that's great. We again, then talk next week.
Okay, sounds great, Coach. We appreciate your time.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Coach Pat Dye right there joining us on the line, and we apologize for some of the – I know it was breaking up at times right there. I did not – see, the thing was it was breaking up on the end, and we've had these interviews for about 4.5 years, but that one got a few words in there. But I wasn't sure where he was in the sentence, and I respect Coach Dye enough and, to not just be like, Coach, but probably – could have let him know there. So we apologize for there. It wasn't just on your end if you were saying, I only got a few seconds of that. We were all sort of sitting in studio, and it was
You know what it reminded me of?
What did that remind you of?
The scene from Forrest Gump where he's giving the speech right there in Washington. The mic gets cut out.
Oh, yeah,
and
he
then
finishes
all
the whole
you
speech,
get, it would always clear up right as he was ending his phrase. So it would always just, and that's what I got to say about that. That's...
What I did get out of the very few words that he said is that South Carolina, it's very hard to recruit there. I bet it is very true with Clemson also being right there, and then also being in the East with all these hard SEC teams. It's hard to recruit there from Will Muschamp. So I felt that there, and I really agree with what he said there.
Well, Will Muschamp's a good recruiter. He's just a horrible in-game coach. There are some guys we talked about, like with Mike Martin and Greg Litton, a guy that knows him, played Major League Baseball, has done camps with Coach Martin. He said it. He goes, Mike Martin is one of the best coaches of all time. He has the most wins in the history of college baseball, but he wasn't the best in-game coach. And that happens with a lot of guys. The decision-making skills inside the game is different than doing what is completely across the board. Some guys can do it, and that's what makes them the best. But there's some guys that when it comes down to recruiting are just one step better than the others, but they just aren't good. Ron Zook, A+ in recruiting, F- in coaching. So sometimes you just get to that point. And Ron, if you're out there listening,
unless the game was in Tallahassee, and then he did.
That's right. Yeah. Or in Miami when they're up 31-3. When we come back, we're going to get to more on some of the things going on right now in the College World Series. Got a game tonight. We'll get to some on the NBA draft right around the corner here tonight. Clearly, we know who number one is, but we do have a situation where it looks like the number one overall pick is going to be Zion, but the number 4 pick now has been traded by the Pelicans. We're coming back for more right here in the Sports Drive.
Welcome to Sherwin-Williams. Hi there. I heard paints are 30% off. Yep, and stains too. Right here. Mm-hmm. Only at your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Right now? Well, June 21st through July 8th. Ah, bring it in. I'm a big hugger. It's cool. Ask Sherwin-Williams June 21st through July 8th and save 30% on paints and stains with sale prices starting at $26.94. Only at your local Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
We know what you want. Good, healthy food that tastes great. Well, we're here to tell you it doesn't exist. Healthy food is for suckers, and if you say you like it, you're nothing but a chump. Be honest, this is what you want to eat. A gigantic burger from Steak Burger. It tastes amazing. What's in it? Who cares? How many calories? Shut up. It's awesome. So get over to Steak Burger now and get one in your belly, or you're a nerd. Feed your hunger the right way. Give it a Steak Burger, 440 East Chase Street, Pensacola.
Pros do it right by relying on trusted brands every day because your reputation depends on it. Lowe's is here to help by stocking more of those brands and at great savings too. Like 20% off in-stock GAF or Owens Corning shingles every day when you purchase by the pallet. And we now offer the Little Giant King Combo Ladder, the world's first step, extension, and leaning ladder, giving you the flexibility to do just about any job for only $159. For your next job and every job after, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Selection varies by location, U.S. only.
Sizzling summer savings are here at Bob Tyler Toyota with special low Bob Tyler prices on new 2019 RAV4 LE for just $219 a month. New 2019 Camry LE just $179 a month. Or the new 2019 Corolla LE just $134 a month. Bob Tyler has over 10 acres and $4 million worth of pre-owned inventory, including Toyota certified vehicles. Get to Bob Tyler Toyota while the savings are hot. With approved credit, 12,000-mile, 36-month leases, $49.99 cash or trade equity down, excludes tax tag, registration, title, 0 security deposit. All prices include $899.50 dealer fees. Dealer for details expires 8/31/19.
Guys, the secret is out. If you want healthy sex, your body needs nitric oxide. And now you can boost your nitric oxide production faster than you thought possible with Ageless Male Tonight, the absurdly fast formula from the #1 brand in male enhancement. Just take one capsule an hour before romantic activity. You'll get clinically tested ingredients that rapidly boost nitric oxide production, and it won't go unnoticed. Rush to Walmart and get Ageless Male Tonight.
It's almost time for Sertoma's 4th of July celebration in downtown Pensacola. Watch Old Seville Square come alive this 4th of July with free activities starting at 11 a.m., including a children's area with inflatables, rock climbing wall, pony rides, face painting, live entertainment, food, and much more. Don't forget the amazing fireworks show over Pensacola Bay at 9. Sponsored by Skanska with a perfectly synchronized music broadcast on Cat Country 98.7. Presented by the Law Office of J.J. Talbot. For more info, visit PensacolaFireworks.com.
And welcome back. Sports Drive with you right here. ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV. Thanks for joining us here as always. As taking a look here at some of the things going on, we talked a little bit about the NBA draft, and it looks like, tonight with that 4th pick, Jordan, I thought it was a good move, trading, because now you're getting a bunch of players, and we know how it works today. In order to build a super team, you got to just get rid of all the little ones. It's like take a bunch of 8s and trade it in for 110. Now that works better in some other things in life, but when it comes to sports, you need a whole team to be assembled, like in dodgeball. And the 5 Ds. Dip, dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge, right? It was
I think
dip, dodge, duck, dive, and dodge. Wasn't that the 5 Ds?
Yeah, that was it. Because she said dodge twice. He throws a wrench at his head. Yeah.
Patches O'Houlihan. Well, when it comes down to... when it comes down to this draft, the Pelicans aren't going to win next year. But they're able to get a bunch of youngsters by trading that 4th pick for what? The 17th pick and 2 other picks? They have now 3 picks.
17 and 35,
8, 17, and 35.
Yeah.
That's
the only problem is it's New Orleans, so in about 5 years they're going to be in L.A. or they're going to be in New York or somewhere else.
Or co-brand like the Rays are doing. That's the news today. The Tampa Bay Rays, and I'm not sure if it's the Rays or Major League Baseball, like who's coming together on this.
Apparently the Rays have petitioned Major League Baseball for this, so it's all Tampa. It's all the Rays organization.
I mean, because they're not making enough money in Tampa. That's what's happening here. They're not making enough money in Tampa. And speaking of making money, we're going to talk with John Steele, our financial planner for the retirement planners coming up here.
I have my microphone.
That's right. He'll be joining us here in a little while, and we'll talk some more with him. But I'm telling you, it is something where if you look at it, comes down to money and the market. And right now, they just saw. I think what got everybody's jollies going is what happened. Can I say that on air? Yeah, I just did. But what happened was in Toronto, when the Toronto Raptors celebrated with Jurassic Park and everything that happened in the NBA title, they saw how much people get behind a team. And think about it. Now they have a chance to be one of the teams, because Toronto's not winning anything these days. So Montreal has a shot if they become good, which the Rays organization's not bad. Put a little money into it. If they get close to the title, the whole entire continent of Canada is going to stop what they're doing to celebrate them. So, I don't know, but some of the names, the Tampon-Treals, if they, I don't know if that's going to combine. How about the Sacre Bleu with the Ray name right there? Tampa Bay A's. Yeah, could work. The Dome Busters. Hey, I mean, they're both go with that right there. Border Buddies. How about Border Buddies?
Border Buddies?
What?
Wasn't that like an old Tom Hanks TV show, though? No,
Ladies and
Bosom
gentlemen,
Buddies.
stand
Never
and
mind.
cheer
Yeah.
for your Border Buddies. And what we talked about earlier, do you have to play the Canadian national anthem and then play the our national anthem and then play the national anthem again? Like combine it 3 times for this team? I mean,
What about dual citizenship? Pretty much like something like that.
Let's duel. I mean, I don't know. This is absolutely ridiculous anyway. And they shouldn't do it. I mean, financially,
I don't even think financially it makes sense.
I think you're going to have a lot of people in Tampa. Look, the Tampa Bay Ray fans are just finally now feeling like their team's getting better and they have a shot. And they're not packing out. They still probably do dollar beer night in left field. I don't know. They may have raised it, but I used to love that when I was in college down I-4 making the games. But I'm looking at it from a standpoint of you're going to have almost the whole city of St. Pete, Tampa just being like, this is crap if they give the team to Canada and Montreal as well. That's not it's no longer your team at that point. It's a co-team with somebody that you don't have any relationship with. This isn't Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul, which is like...
Right. And it's a co-team A.
That's
A. It's ridiculous.
Tampa, Montreal, coming to you.
Oh,
There you
Lord.
go. Well, that's all the time we have for it. We're going to sit out to the Pensacola Blue Wahoos coming up right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV.
This is Pensacola's hometown all-sports station and home of the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Catch all the Wahoos games home and away all season, plus all the latest Wahoos news from Chad Brillante on the Sports Drive, 5 till game time weeknights. And hey, if your business would like to partner with us as an advertiser or with a local sports promotion, then give us a call at 850-262-6000 or shoot us an email from the advertise page on ESPNpensacola.com.
I'm Doug Brown. The NBA draft about to get started with the Pelicans holding the number 1 pick. They probably won't need a lot of time to think about Duke's Zion Williamson, and he'll become the first player born in the 2000s to be drafted. The Pelicans also held the 4th pick, but ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports New Orleans is trading that pick to Atlanta. The Pels will get 3 picks tonight, including 2 first-rounders and a possible first-rounder next year. The Hawks in that deal will also get Solomon Hill and 2 second-round picks, one of those tonight. Another trade, the Timberwolves move up to the 6th overall pick in a deal with Phoenix. The Suns will get the 11th pick and Dario Saric. NBA draft coverage now underway on ESPN Radio, TV, and the app. Just 10 days from now, free agency starts. Raptors coach Nick Nurse says that was a conversation he did not have with Finals MVP and free agent-to-be Kawhi Leonard.
I just never really talked to him about it ever. You know, I never addressed it. We never, ever even went close to going down that road at all.
Nick Nurse on Golic and Wingo. Team USA still hasn't allowed a goal at the Women's World Cup. A 2-0 win over Sweden today to finish first in Group F and set a record with 18 goals in group play. The Americans will meet Spain in the round of 16 on Monday. Baseball today, the Rangers beat the